will be represented. They will not have speaking roles in the news conference, but their agencies have been critical. We will have them represented. We're going to have Matt Espenshade, ESPEN SHADE with FBI, ATF, Assistant Special Agent in Charge, Frank Herrera, HAERA. We also have two representatives from the District Attorney's Office with the 23rd Judicial District, which is where we are right now. David Wyatt, WYATT, and Margaret Sagi, SAGI. Sorry? We are not. I don't know. I would defer to THP to answer that, and Colonel will be one of the ones. All right, so we're going to get started in just a moment. I just want to make you aware of who's going to be speaking in order.
Where are David Wyatt and Margaret Sagi from again?
The 23rd Judicial District, the DA's office, which is where we are right now.
How you spell Sagi?
SAGI.
Thank you.
You bet. All right, we'll be with you in a moment.
So the TBI is about to get underway with a press conference following the capture this morning of Steven Wiggins, the suspect involved in the killing of Dickson County Deputy Sergeant Daniel Baker. While the command post has substantially depleted since this morning's capture, still a police presence down by the Natchez ER hospital. It has not been confirmed if he has been transported there this morning, and the rain is starting to fall. The TBI will have this press conference starting at 10:30. Tennessee Bureau of Investigations following the capture this morning of Steven Wiggins, a suspect in the death of Dickson County Deputy Sergeant Daniel Baker. only a very few units are remaining at the command post that was set up here on Highway 46. In the distance, you can see there is a police presence still at the Natchez Medical Center, where it is believed the suspect was taken after his capture this morning. And we're going to get started with the press conference.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Susan Nyland, one of the public information officers with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. I know the rain has just started here, but it's not doing anything to those behind us and you all as well. We want to thank you for being so consistently plugged into our search for the individual who killed Deputy Baker. We are going to provide you some information to update the situation. We'll start out with Acting TBI Director Jason Miller.
Good morning. I'm very pleased to announce this morning that the fugitive Steven Wiggins is officially in custody. For the past 48 hours or so, TBI and our law enforcement partners have worked tirelessly to bring forth this positive results that we're here for to announce today. I would like to thank all of those law enforcement partners that collaborated with us on this event, the FBI, the ATF, the Marshal Service, Special Department, as well as all the numerous local and state law enforcement officers from across the state. So many departments have sent their manpower and additional resources to help us in this endeavor, and we're so thankful for all that they've provided. I'd also like to reach out and thank to each of you, the media, for being here with us every step of the way. You have been available to us to be able to push out information when we felt like we needed to get it out, and trying to keep the citizens and the public alert and vigilant. And because of those activities, that again is another thing that led to this capture today. We're very pleased now that this person is in custody and the public is safe. We can continue to focus our investigative efforts toward preparing this case to go to trial so that justice can be served. We're also especially pleased that Sheriff Bledsoe and his staff on joining the family and beginning to mourn the loss of this great man, Sergeant Baker. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to the Colonel of the Highway Patrol, Derek Stewart, who will give some further details about the capture of Wiggins.
Thank you, Jason. First and foremost, our sympathies go out to Sergeant Baker, his family. Also goes out to Sheriff Bledsoe, the rest of the Dixon County Sheriff's Department family. Extend our sympathies to them. Again, this is a very good day. We're very glad to announce again that the suspect has been taken into custody. It occurred this morning. Trooper Kevin Birch, of our new troopers, was out on patrol on Stinson Road. This occurred in Cleveland County. He observed a subject that was on the wood line, and he got out to approach this individual. And as he approached this individual, he noticed that he had tattoos, and he met the overall description of the gentleman that we were looking for. Trooper Birch was able to draw his weapon, take this individual into custody without any further incident. There was no use of force application needed. He willfully obeyed the trooper and took him into custody without further incident. The THB has had a lot of resources been allocated to this. We've been committed to the Dixon County area and to Sheriff Bledsoe to really provide any level of resources that we had available to him. We made them available to him. We have 50+ personnel assigned here, as well as aircraft. And again, this is a good day for us, and there's going to be a closure to this incident, and we want to allow us all to be able to focus on the Baker family and Sheriff Bledsoe and Dixon County family.
Could you walk us through again that moment? How did he see him? From the corner of his eye, through the window of his car? How exactly did he see him?
Trooper Birch was traveling down Stencil Road, and he observed someone that was in the wood line. He was right at the edge of the wood line, and he stopped and he approached the individual. He walked up to approach the individual, and when he approached him, met the overall description of the suspect that we've been looking for. So he's at that point in time, again, his weapon and ordered the suspect to get on the ground, and he was able to take him into custody without any incident. Again, there was no use of force application that was needed. He was taken into custody without incident.
Was Trooper Birch alone?
Another trooper that was in close proximity to him, so no, he was not totally by himself, but this is typically how our troopers operate.
Was Wiggins armed? Did he?
We're going to have question available afterward for all the individual speakers currently online. We're going to bring the sheriff in, and then we'll open it up for any of the speakers for questions.
This has been a trying week for each of us. We've had a heavy load and some heavy lifting, but we couldn't have done it without all our partners that's been involved. And I wished I could name each agency individually, but there's so many and this grew so rapidly that I would not be able to mention everyone, and I don't want to slight anyone by not naming, but each agency has been with us each hour of the day. The number of leads that came in were thoroughly checked. And we couldn't do this without our partnerships, and far too often we're seeing this across our community, but our partners have experienced this, so they know personally and firsthand what we're dealing with. But this is just a part of the process and the capture, but this is not closure for us. Closure will only come once we can honor and lay Sergeant Daniel Scott Baker to rest, and that we can see a prosecution begin. And when we get closure and a disposition and resolve of this case, then perhaps we can move forward with some closure. But each of you know it's a long process. I don't even know if I'll be alive when we get to that point with the appeals process and the way things move, but I will be there each step of the way, Lord willing, and if they have to wheel me into the courthouse, I will be there. I have a statement that I would like to read from Sergeant Baker's wife, Lisa Baker. There are no words to describe the level of devastation that myself and family are dealing with. We, the family of my husband and best friend, Sergeant Daniel Baker, would like to convey our gratitude to the endless efforts of the law enforcement officers, first responders, EMS, fire and rescue, and volunteers in the apprehension of the two suspects that have forever changed our lives. Our deepest thank you. The family and I would like to thank our amazing local community for the outpouring of love and support being shown during this most difficult and trying time. Lastly, I would like to ask our family, friends, and community to help our daughter, Meredith, to always know how wonderful and amazing her father is. His service and dedication country and community will always be remembered.
Mr. Wiggins is currently being treated for what appear to be non-serious injuries at a hospital. Once he has been released, he will be booked. We're going to be able to open it up for questions. If you have something for an individual that you've heard from, we will indicate that, and they can step forward and respond to you. Again, this is, while we have this individual captured, this still remains an ongoing criminal investigation. We're going to be limited as to what we can address, but again, we'll do our best to answer whatever
When
That's first for a moment of capture. I think that's really like the most important. Give us a sense of when you first we got as far as the question about true response. I guess you folks just had like the woods or whatever. What was the moment when he draws down on him? What was Wiggins' response? Was he armed? Was he resistance? Walk us through.
Again, it's my understanding once the trooper drew down on Mr. Wiggins, he totally complied. There was no response from him.
Colonel, I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
He was totally obedient to the trooper's orders. He ordered him to get on the ground. He was able to take him into custody without further.
Was he armed?
Was he armed?
That's part of the ongoing investigation.
So did the trooper see him and then immediately free him, or did he get out of the conversation?
Saw him. Whether he was a suspect or not, he saw someone in the location that probably should not have been. He was at that point in time the trooper approached him, observed the tattoos, and then he knew he had his gun.
Colonel, was it happenstance that he saw the lead that someone had spotted?
The trooper was in that area because that was part of his work assignment. We assigned people in different locations throughout the area in order to search for this suspect.
So it wasn't the lead that took him there.
Wait, is he eligible for the reward?
I do not think so, but if the trooper was eligible, I think he would do the right thing and give it to Baker's family.
Can you describe Wiggins' state of mind when he was caught, how he looked?
Information, and again, I'll bring it up to TBI.
How far from where the cruiser was found? Sergeant Becker's cruiser was found was.
I don't.
Was there reason to believe that he was on drugs at the time?
I have no reason to believe that.
So do we have an idea that he was actually on foot, not in a vehicle?
He was on foot.
Did your trooper Birch have a radio on his person?
Yes.
So he was able to, can you kind of explain how it works to someone, and first, thank you to Trooper Birch, but how it, someone who doesn't know what exactly happens, was he holding his gun and trying to radio, or can you kind of explain how he was able to keep Wiggins there while also calling for backup?
Well, again, there was another trooper that was in close proximity that saw Trooper Birch make the stop, and he was able to turn around at that point in time. Trooper Birch simply approached him, started engaged in conversation with him, and noticed that he met that description, and Trooper Birch drew down on him at that point in time and took him into custody.
Roughly what time of day was it?
I do not have the exact time.
Was this near the area where that female was also found?
I don't have that level of information yet.
Colonel, given the fact that he was able to elude officers for two days, is there a concern that others may have been assisting him?
I don't have that information at this point in time. I think he just simply ran off into the woods. He was able to hide our TBI personnel, our local law enforcement personnel, as well as our federal partners. We all engaged in a total team effort in order to try to bring this person into custody, and I think it's paid dividends. We want to give kudos to the local citizens as well that helped us with this. We ask people all the time, if you see something, say something. And in cases like this, it pays dividends. But I have to reiterate, this is a total team effort. All of the partners back here together, we have one goal, and that was to bring closure to this situation, to try to bring it and put this person, and take him into custody. We were able to do so without incident, and I think it's a good day for law enforcement and the local citizens.
Colonel, for those of us who don't know the area well where he was captured, is that Dixon? Is that?
He was actually taken into custody on Stinson Road. This is in Hickman County, near the Dixon County line.
But is there a
town name there?
I don't think there's a town named to this area.
Is that a neighboring county?
Yes.
Can you just describe the area where he was caught for those who just don't know this area?
I'm not familiar with that.
Colonel, correct me if I'm wrong, this is your first full day on the job as Colonel of the retirement yesterday of Colonel Trotz. So how engaged were you up until this point with this search and investigation?
I've been totally engaged from the offset. We've had our team involved. I've been getting briefs every day as to what our level of effort was and how everybody else was responding. So we've been totally in tune with everything that's going on.
Was he crying? I know that was he crying, begging for food? That's kind of what
I have no idea. I don't have that level of information.
And I'm assuming he'll go straight to the Dixon County Jail after being evaluated.
I think he's being evaluated right now, and I can't speculate on what's going to be his disposition.
Was the suspect laying on the ground when he was found?
No, he was not. He was standing up, and the trooper ordered him to the ground.
Thank you.
But he was on foot, not trying to hide, walking along the side of the road, correct?
He was near a wood line at the edge of the roadway, and the trooper noticed him in the wood line. So again, kudos to our troopers being alert, paying attention to what's going on. He saw him there. The trooper stopped, went back and approached him, and again, the rest of the story is he took him into custody.
Do you think he just surrendered?
Sorry?
Do you think he just surrendered by going out?
Again, I wasn't there. The person probably did give more details as to, his disposition.
Is there dash cam video of this? I'm sorry, Colonel. Is there dash cam video of this in each car?
Yes, there is an in-car video camera, but that's part of the investigation. It's been turned over to the district attorney's office at TBI.
Is Trooper Birch here right now?
No, he's not here.
Can we have a picture of him?
We would get one to our public information officer. We will make sure that you get it.
Can you give us his history? Just who he is?
We will provide all the information for him.
Can you repeat his name again? What was his first name?
It's Kevin Birch. B-U-R-C-H.
And Colonel, the picture showed his clothing, I think, as he was being taken from the cruiser, torn, or his pants torn. And Susan, you said that he was being treated. Can you tell us anything about his condition, what he was being treated for? Is it the condition of a man who's been living in the woods, scrapes, burns?
I mean, we can't speak to his
scratches,
specific injuries, but it's something, the injuries appear to be consistent with those of somebody who would have been out in the elements for a few days. They don't appear to be anything serious, certainly not life-threatening, but he's just being treated for a lot of what you saw in that photo.
And Susan, are there any court appearances for his case or the women's case?
Sure, that's something that the district attorney's office would be able to provide. So that would be the next step once he has been released. It's not been admitted, but once his whatever medical treatment is required is completed, then he will be booked. At that point, we will get information on our news and blog, and you should be able to have access to that.
Susan, can you confirm he's going to be taken to the Dixon County Jail in Charlotte? Is that where he's going to be taken to?
I can't confirm that at this point.
Is he cooperating? Have you all asked him any questions?
That's not something we're going to be able to speak to since it's part of our ongoing investigation.
Do the questions come now, or do they come later after he's received medical treatment? In general, like if someone is taken into custody and they
Every
go to the
case is
hospital,
fact specific, so it's not anything I can speak to.
Do we know if the DA will be seeking that?
I believe that the district attorney's office has provided a news release, and if you don't have a copy of that, you can get that from them afterwards.
Susan, can you tell us the distance between where the incident occurred and where he was located? How far away was he from where all this unfolded Wednesday?
I don't have that right now. Our agents are still in the field, so we can get that to you. I believe the sheriff, they have some questions for you.
Sheriff must be known to believe that
nothing substantial that I would say unusual for someone in this circumstance.
did you say anything to us?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you say?
I'm not to say that.
Sheriff,
Maybe something we discuss later, but I don't know.
Sheriff, I'd like to clear up a few items about the incident on Wednesday morning. Could you explain what happened from the time that the deputy arrived on scene to the time that his body was found? What do you know exactly about that time frame? Can you walk us through the chronology?
I will not give specifics because everything will plug into the criminal investigation. I can just say that what we've already released, he was responding to a call for service from a citizen that had a vehicle parked on the roadway or near the side of the roadway, and it seemed very suspicious that the vehicle was there, and what information they provided to our dispatch was relayed. Sergeant Baker came in early that day to help out with the midnight shift. We were running some staffing issues, so being the man that he is, he came in to assist and work an earlier shift than what he normally would, and he was the one closest to that area and responded to that call for assistance or call for service, and everything escalated from there once he discovered that the vehicle was reported stolen. And I just won't get into the specifics of the case. I think you've got most of that at this point.
Well, how did his vehicle end up 2 miles away from where you...
That was by the suspect's actions.
Could you... What do you mean by that?
I will not go into the specifics of that. I think you can understand how it moved from one point to the other.
I don't want to make any assumptions.
Right. And
yeah, I think we're getting into some specifics that are part of our investigation that we're not able to address at this time. So I think that we've gotten you the basic information of how things shook out today. The THB is going to be providing some information about the trooper. We will provide you, this will be able to provide you information as to upcoming court dates and appearances.
Can we just ask one more question to the Sheriff points out? Sheriff, how are you and your people doing right now? Just talk about how you're coming together.
Oh, we've been together before this, and even stronger today. It pushes us in the service that we provide, but it also lets us know how vulnerable we can be on a daily basis, and you see it far too often. And when lives are taken, there's a lot of times there's accidents that occur that officers will lose their lives, but when you look at the actions of others and the evil that's committed against our law enforcement officers, it's something that bonds us and pushes us together more. We've got to still stay focused. During all this, we've still had to respond to calls for service, reports that needed to be taken, other arrests that have been made. Nothing related to this, just our normal daily procedures. Our courts have to be tended to, our transports of inmates. Everything still functions, but we're having support from all these agencies to allow us to focus on this investigative side as we move forward.
Sheriff, your black band says 95. Can you explain why?
That is Sergeant Daniel Baker's badge number, and we had that. Those bands have been donated by a group, and I'm sorry at the moment I don't have their name, but they were sent to us and donated. We received those yesterday.
And do you know if he's going to Dixon County Jail?
He will be transported to the Dixon County Jail.
And I'm sorry if this was already answered. Was he armed when he was called?
I will not be able to discuss that.
Sheriff, because you know the area so well.
Deputies handcuffs. Is there any plans to do that at some point? That they'll use the fallen deputies handcuffs.
I'm glad you mentioned that, and I will leave you with this: that Sergeant Baker's handcuffs were immediately taken into our possession, and they are on the suspect at this time, and he will be taken into the Dixon County Jail.
Sheriff, because you know the area so intimately, can you answer the question asked earlier about the distance between the capture and the incident itself?
I can't, because I don't have the exact specific location of where he was located, and at this time I would be speculating. I know it was nearby from where everything developed, but I do not know specifically where he was taken into custody.
An approximation would do.
Within a mile, 2 mile radius.
Thank you, folks. Again, thank you for all the work that you've done in putting the word out about the individual being put on the blue alert and the top 10 most wanted. We appreciate all the work you've done on that.
What happens to the reward money?
Well, there are different agencies that provided it. They will be working with our investigators as the case progresses and to determine how they want to provide it. I don't have that information. We'll ensure that. Thank you all. Thank you.
the press conference has just wrapped up on the capture of Steven Wiggins, the suspect in the killing of Dickson County Deputy Sergeant Daniel Baker.